Welcome to a couple of Rad Techs podcast, season 6. Thank you all for being here. Whether you are a seasoned radiologic technologist and medical imaging professional looking to refresh your career, or you're a student seeking guidance in the radiology field, or someone ready to make a career change, we've got you covered. We've got a fresh new look, more episodes based on your request, and all the tips, insights, and inspiration that you're going to need to thrive in this amazing field of medical imaging, radiation therapy, and radiologic technology. Our mission is simple here at a couple of Rad Techs podcasts. We're here to spread positivity about this profession of radiologic technology and medical imaging, empower you with valuable advice, and help you level up your career no matter your age or stage. Grab that coffee or whatever you're doing at this moment, and let's dive into this week's episode. It's time to take your radiologic technology and medical imaging journey to the next level. Only person got to live with your decisions are you, nobody else, good or bad. I spent over $50,000 just to skip the waitlist to become a radiologic technologist. Now, of course, it wasn't me, but that's the kind of messages I'm getting. People are spending at least and more to become radiologic technologists. You may ask how and why. Sounds crazy to some and totally reasonable to others. For some people, that is the only option. So today we're going to talk about the real cost of skipping the line. Not literally skipping, but skipping the wait list. And maybe what you hadn't thought about and what you need to know before you choose that route. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad route or a wrong route at all. I personally did not choose a community college or a hospital-based program to go to. I chose a private university, which did cost me way more because things are different now. This was a university. There are many private schools out here now that do offer radiologic technology programs, and you want to choose the right one. So stay with me to the end and be sure to chime in with any questions you have throughout this video, because I'm going to be answering questions. We all know there's a waitlist problem when it comes to radiologic technology schools, and it's very competitive. And many people think, well, I don't want to go back and have to do prerequisites. I've been out of school for umpteen years. I just cannot redo that stuff. Or there are some people that cannot pass the HESI test. HESI, I'm not sure what it's called now. It was a college entrance exam before. Now it's a HESI exam. There are things out there, and those are reasons that people choose to skip the wait list and skip the competitiveness and just pay really high amounts to become radiologic technologists. Programs today do not accept a lot of students. Class sizes are very small, which leaves hundreds on the wait list for maybe 2, 3, 4 years. The average wait list is 2 to 3 years. I've got people messaging me saying it'll be 2029 before they can actually get into the program. I'm like, what? There are people out there that are working jobs they are not happy with, and they want to start a new career, and radiologic technology is it. But with this wait list, that poses a problem. They can't fulfill their dreams. So what's the alternative? And this is where the private schools come into play. They seem to be answering the wait list problem for those that can afford it, and those even that can't afford it but do it anyway. There's no wait list. It's a fast track program. Some are accelerated programs, but they still give you the associate's degree, which you have to have. And they give you the seat in the classroom, which is what people want. Sounds perfect until people get the price tag. The price tag is usually $50,000 or more. One of the problems that some don't really think about when they choose to go to private schools is the loan amount. Most people, if they're going, sometimes they already have a lot of, you've been living life and you already have a car note. You got a house, you got this, you got credit cards. So what kind of loan are you really going to be able to get? Because many of these private schools do not offer federally backed loans. They're usually private loans. And even if they're through the federal government, they're still private. So they don't kind of fall under the same rules as certain other federal grants for schooling. So your interest rate is higher. You can't defer. I mean, there are all kind of stipulations that come with some of these loans that people really don't read the fine print. And once you graduate, it's like, whoa. Most of your paycheck is going back to these really high interest rate loans. And that's if you even qualify for the loans. If you already have a lot of debt to income ratio, you may not get a lot of loan money. And they might, if you have bad credit, you probably won't either. Let's talk about the risk. The average starting salary for a radiologic technologist It's usually, I don't care if you have an associate's or a bachelor's, it's usually about 60, maybe 70,000. But really, honestly, how much of your paycheck would go back to those loans? Yeah, I bought me a brand new car when I graduated. I'm just telling y'all what I did. I bought a spanking brand new car. I had never had one personally. My dad always told me, don't buy a brand new car. I wanted a brand new car, and I worked my butt off through school, and I was going to get me a brand new car, and I got it. I'm just being realistic. Most people go out and buy them a car or buy something they really feel they deserve because you worked your butt off going to school for radiologic technology. So how much of your check really is going to go back to knocking those high interest private loans off that you took out for this $50,000 school to become a radiologic technologist? That's one of the risks is most people pay the bare minimum. You're going to be paying for years on that loan. And life is still happening. Bills are still coming. You're still accumulating bills. You still got the bills you had before you got in school. If you got a $50,000 loan at, say, 6% interest, your monthly payments are $580 a month just on that loan. And that's a good interest rate. There are interest rates that are a lot higher than that. So it all depends on what interest rate you get. Just kind of put that in the back of your mind. Because here's another risk. All private programs are not created equal. That program may not be accredited and you did not check. And once you get in there, you got that loan going, you started a program and oops, you graduated from a program that's not accredited. You can't get a job. You can't get your ARRT. Or the program loses accreditation because they were on probation already and they didn't tell their students. And now you're stuck in these loans, you're stuck in a program, and now the school closes. Or the program closes down. You're left out there. You still got to pay those loans back with no job, with no radiologic technology career. Back at square one and probably in a worse situation. Has it happened before? Yes. This is not something that's made up. So this is not to scare you, but it is to bring awareness to fast and quick is not always the best option. So really understand the whole dynamics of it before you get into it. So that way you can deal with whichever one it comes. Because I'm a firm believer that only person got to live with your decisions are you, nobody else, good or bad. So if you make a bad decision, you have to live with it. If you make a good decision, you have to live with it. I mean, that's the way I look at things. Hey, I can live with any decision as long as I made it. The job market. Now, I've been in the field for 22 years. The salaries up and down. They're not always consistent. They're not always the same everywhere you live. Just because your cost of living is high in your mind where you live does not mean your job feels that that's the cost of living. So you may see on social media other people and statistics. If you go to Indeed, ZipRecruiter, and ASRT salary pages, you're going to get several different salaries. Because what you don't understand is some of those salaries from some of those salary companies are telling you these people are travelers. That's why those salaries are so high. Or these people work at a private prison institution. That's why those salaries are so high. Just because ZipRecruiter tells you $135,000, you don't know what they're taking into account as far as how those people are making that kind of money. What is the background, the experience, the area, the type of working conditions? Here's a couple of things you may want to worry about before choosing a $50,000 plus private school to become a radiologic technologist. Is the program worth the cost? Again, I said not all programs are created equal. Look for the accreditation, look for their job placement, and reviews from past students. Though when you're interviewing a school, they're not just interviewing you. You're interviewing schools, y'all. I flip it around. Really ask the hard questions. How long have you all been accredited? Have you ever been on probation with your accreditation? If so, what were the stipulations? How did you fix those things? Because you'll be surprised if you go to the accreditation's website, it has a list of past and present colleges that are on probation or have been on probation. And you can figure out what they did to satisfy it, if they did at all, and maybe they didn't. And if you guys don't go to these websites and ask these hard questions, you're going to be in a pickle with this $50,000 loan with its high interest. It's all about long-term goals. What works best for you? A $50,000 plus school loan, high interest rate might be just right for you. And it's okay. Don't worry about what other people say, but do listen to the risk the problems others have faced, and take those things into consideration, and make sure you ask the hard questions before you choose any school. Is skipping the wait list and going to a private school and paying really high tuitions like $50,000 plus to become a radiologic technologist, is it worth it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's start a conversation about this. This is a good topic. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications if you like this video and for more videos. I'll see you guys on the next video.